What's up, you guys? It's StrangeLuv here, and for this video I'm doing another trial from the Trials of GNOMUS DLC in Garden Warfare 2, and this time it is the blue trial, which is actually called the Trial of Recollection. And as the name suggests, this one is all about memory and being able to recollect the things that you memorized. Now, in the comments of my last video and over on Twitter, I had a few people telling me that the blue trial was like the hardest trial ever, that they couldn't get through it, and some of you had me really thinking that this thing was going to be super challenging, but I do admit it was a challenge, and you know, I had to try a couple times to get through this, but I wouldn't call it the hardest trial out of all of them. I haven't tried all 4 of them, just the red trial and the blue so far, but I think it comes down probably to personality types, just because I really enjoy memorization games and memory puzzles like this. So I actually kind of preferred the challenge of this one, and I know some people are better at coordination challenges and trials and stuff, so maybe you guys might like the red challenge or one of the other ones, but you know, this one is my favorite so far out of the 2 that I've tried, and I might not get as lucky next time to get a trial key, so I hope you guys enjoy this video. Alright, so the Trial of Recollection is pretty straightforward. You have to just memorize the symbols above each archway section, and then hop across the corresponding tiles, and of course, if you get the pattern wrong, you're gonna get a zonko, obviously. Now, there's not a whole lot of advice I can give you for this trial other than just to work on your memorization skills, but one thing that I can suggest is to sort of make short one-syllable mnemonic names for each symbol, so that when you look at the pattern, you can quickly just name the symbols and repeat it back to yourself without fumbling over each of the words and what they're called. So, for example, instead of trying to remember a pattern like shovel, watering can, flower pot, lawnmower, you can instead just relabel them to be spade, water, pot, lawn, which you can repeat back to yourself a lot quicker, and it should be easier to remember as long as, of course, you remember the names that you assigned to each symbol. Now, another sneaky trick that you can do is just have someone sit next to you and you memorize the first half of a pattern while they memorize the last half, and this kind of frees up some of the mental burden, and it can be really helpful at the end when the patterns get really long. Alright, you guys, after the trial, you know the drill. Just jot down your special code and then drop down to the underground lever puzzle and put in the code that you got at the end of the trial. Defeat the blue guardian and then make your way to the newly opened blue portal in the gazebo to claim your reward. And don't forget to note this strange incomplete puzzle above the chest, just in case. You never know, you might need it for later. Alright, so for this trial, instead of a wearable customization item, you actually get an awesome backyard item called Liberty and Brains for All, which is a huge, blinged out Zomboss of Liberty statue that you can put over at the docks. And honestly, I think this is one of my favorite backyard items so far, and I'm probably gonna just keep it up at the docks for quite a while, unless something cooler comes along, of course. And that's it for this trial anyway. Hopefully I get another trial key next time during the next Trials of GNOMUS event. I'm keeping my fingers crossed, but I feel like my odds are slowly going down at this point. I've already got 2 for 2, and I feel like probably next time I might not get a key. But I'm really hoping I do, because I want to be able to finish all these trials for you guys. Now, I know I've been kind of slow with the uploads lately, and that's just because I've been working full-time, and that truly does eat into a lot of my playtime, especially because my job involves writing about video games and playing different games, so I don't have a whole lot of time for Garden Warfare 2 specifically these days, but I hope you guys still enjoy the content that I am able to push out every now and again, and I've actually been thinking of branching out and making some videos on indie games, just because I've been having to cover those for work anyway. So leave me a comment and let me know if that's something you'd like to see. Alright everyone, also let me know in the comments if you've played any of these trials and which one is your favorite so far in Garden Warfare 2. Thanks so much for watching, stay strange my loves, and until next video, this is StrangeLuv signing out.